2nd, 6th, 2021. The Executive Director, CGNR, good day, sir. I am Mr. Taiwo Adeola Omotoso, the wife of Pastor Timothy Oluwaseun.
Mr. Mrs.
I am Mrs. Taiwo Adeola Omotoso, the wife of Pastor Timothy Oluwaseun Omotoso, who is currently in detention in St. Ambiance Prison, Port Elizabeth, South Africa. He was detained on an allegation of rape along with 2 other ladies, Lusandra Sulani and Zukiswa Sito, who are church secretaries. Pastor Omotoso has been in detention since April 2007, while the 2 co-accused have been released on bail. All efforts for his release have been so far aborted. I was advised by Mrs. Esther Ayipola, who lives in South Africa, to contact the organization Center for Justice and Reconciliation (CGMR) for possible intervention in respect of my case, the case of my husband, Pastor Timothy Omotoso. He was unlawfully arrested without a warrant, and major media houses were invited to broadcast a live feed of the arrest. It has been a media carcass. Well, I should put it has been a media trial rather than a fair trial. There is a strong political interference in the case. The media do not broadcast the proceedings of the court, further playing into the political agenda on a personal level. We have experienced xenophobic behavior here in South Africa. Hot coffee was once poured on me at the court entrance. Many times my husband has been maltreated by St. Ambiance Prison and has had his human rights violated. Because the case has been going on for 4 years, we have spent heavily on legal fees and has impacted our financial style. The number of fellow Christians have distanced themselves, while others have been supportive, including organizations like Christian Savior of South Africa, headed by Pastor Demick Musana. Pastor Derek has been advocating for the need for a fair trial and the release of my husband. So I request for the intervention of CGMR in this matter. We need CGMR to challenge the corruption in the case and to bring the South Africa justice system to account. The lies must be exposed and the lies must be exposed, and I have faith that truth will prevail. Yours in Christ, Taiwo Omotoso.
Well, if I can say so, we don't have the jurisdiction to handle this matter. But what you can do, the chairman of the House of Representatives for Diaspora is married to my husband's first cousin. She's somebody I know very well. In fact, she's at Oyo State, Mrs. Tolulope Akondi Shadipo. If you can give me the case as a WhatsApp document, let me forward to her. Let Nigerian diaspora people take charge. I know she will look into it. It's the only way. I would have said Abike Dabiri, but Abike, I think, is just now the government appointee. But in the House of Representatives, this woman chairs the committee. So she works closely with Abike Dabiri, and then it's her job to ensure that Nigerians in diaspora are well looked after and not ill-treated. So if you send me these details, I'll forward to her. I don't think it's within the purview of CGMR to handle this matter. And what you can just say as a reply is that we will forward this to those who operate for diaspora. And we want all the contact details so that those people, when they wish to, we pray, we will reach out to her. And by the grace of God, they will be able to help her. But at least I can do that much. I can get it across to Mrs. Even to Abike Dabiri, but I'm closer, it's easier to deal with to Shadipo.
Well, that's good. Sometimes we create a way where there is no way. And from my own suggestion, she has forwarded the loads of the documents, court proceeding, all totally about 562 pages. So I think
email it to me. I will send it to the woman. She has executive assistant. She has office. She has printer.
What I'm saying is that it is better as general to do the analysis of this thing than before we now give
You know
it.
why you can't do
Because
that analysis? You
Ma-
don't know South African law. No, you don't have a lawyer who is qualified to practice in South Africa that's going to review it. And you cannot review it with Nigerian law. You can't. You just can't. So what the diaspora office will do is that they are able to get lawyers over there to look into the matter and advise them of the man's case. The truth of the matter is that she has not said here that he's not guilty per se. She has not been extremely forthcoming. You just don't know.
Yeah, one has to.
And there may be circumstantial evidence that she won't give you. Even if he's not guilty, he may be guilty of what you call an inchoate offense. In other words, you are on your way to that offense, you didn't get there before you were caught. Or you have done certain things that compromise you to the extent that people catch you. Or it is pure injustice, we don't know. We don't have the evidence. And if you give me everything and I review it, it's not tenable in South Africa. And the man is not incarcerated here.
No. Yeah.
In fact, one of the things government can do is say, all right, okay, he's guilty. Send him to Nigeria to serve his sentence. Do we have an extradition treaty in South Africa? I don't know. But diaspora office, it is their duty to look into things like this and take a decision. Why will you look into 100 pages of anything that you are not going to be effective with? It's like somebody coming to us and saying they arrested my husband in India. It's not within our purview. We only operate. As a matter of pure fact, we are supposed to reject this case. It's not. We should be right, and that is one of the things we need to do. We need, as much as we know our focus, so much should we know our limitation. Can't take everybody on, and not every case is our case. How can we handle a case? You might as well handle a US case or a British case. How? If you review it from now to next year, you are still going to look for legal representation in that country, and they still have to review it and give you the law as it is in that country. So there's no point. But if we talk to diaspora woman, she will, if God helping us, she will take a look at it. She has people in that her office. She has people whose job it is to go through cases. Do you know how many they get in a day? They will go through. It may take them time, but they will go through it. They will look at it. Maybe the advantage of having somebody like me knowing is that I can call her and say, how far now? As you are reminding me, I can remind her. And then she will look at it and say, my office has checked this thing out. The man is guilty. Then I can say, okay, if he's guilty, can't they extradite him to Nigeria? Let him serve here with the wife. Let them get out of that toxic environment. Or can the Nigerian welfare office still be taking a look at him and making sure even in that prison he's not ill-treated? But that's the only thing we can do. If you read it, sir, I tell you to God, it's an exercise in futility. You cannot help him because you are not equipped to help him. You don't have the capacity. I don't know what word they're going to use. It is like somebody telling me to go to Germany to go and free somebody from a case. How? I can't.
Okay, that's all right. We put that aside.
Yeah.
We won't put it aside. We will send it to diaspora. They will look at it. And that is the reply you will give them. That as much as we have compassion for you and your husband and sympathize with your story, we must confess that this is outside the scope